Yes, I just had a Hiddush out here at my Wailing Wall, a tennis wall that I want to share. As you know, I think that Judaism has to get in touch with the body, and one would always think of that body as physical, but I have something new, innovation. You know, I want to make more of an alignment between the head, the chest as the heart, so intellect in the head, chest as the heart, and the pelvic area where the bris is, and the stomach itself. I want to get these in alignment, not only in a pole alignment like a kutba, but a intellectual alignment. In other words, not overthink, or a emotional alignment, not overly be emotional, you know, or have these emotions of love and fear. But to align that with what it's been called the physical, which is the stomach and the bris. This is the real secret. The real secret is that the physical is the legs and the ground, but the spiritual is the bris. Your spiritual component is in the middle of the body. Your spiritual component is at the belly button, the stomach, the hara point, and the bris. The spiritual is in the middle, and you evolve and move out of the spiritual component. That component has been designated as physical, and that's our problem. Our problem is that we think that that's the physical component, or even when we're sitting in a chair, that's the physical aspect. No, we're spiritual in the very core, in the gut, in the balls, in the penis, in the vagina. That's our spiritual component. And we move out of there, out of that center. And so we're actually walking around with that. That's the yud, and maybe even a tip of a yud, but it's the yud in the middle of the body. And from that middle, we go emotional up, intellectual up. But our spiritual body and our spiritual component is in the center of the body. That's where the Zum took place. You know? God was everywhere, and he contracted himself into what they call the center. We're going to call that the center. And in a previous video, I think I did that's the secret of Gan Eden and of Bereshis. The one mitzvah from Bereshis is the idea of being fruitful and multiply. Bria Varivia, and the whole idea of that is from the bris area. It's also Bereshit. It's the sixth of the Zeir Anpin, and it's always 6 is the yesod, and 6 is always sex. Freud. And so we go from there, from that spiritual component. And remember that man is formed from the dust of the ground, of the grunt. So he has a physical component from the ground. But his spiritual component is from the bris. So he's walking around, you know, the spiritual component's like 3 feet off the ground. See? Now the other thing I've been doing is trying to keep a balance, so I don't become too overly intellectual or too overly, heart, emotional, the emotions of the heart, and keep that in line with what I did call my physical level, but now I'm renaming my spiritual level. And that's what I call, that's why the bris is on the 8th day, and the tefillin, which is the unification of mind and heart, only comes on the 13th year. But people don't realize that the tefillin has a really great secret in the wrapping of the hand. That wrapping of the hand is on the ama finger, which is also the word for penis. And it's just at that penis level. Also, the straps of the tefillin have to go, the tefillin of the head have to go to the right strap has to go to the bris, and the left strap has to go to, at least to the belly button. So this shows this kind of level there. Those are the spiritual, that's the spiritual level. The physical level is the ground, done from the legs, from the spiritual level of the bris down, and from the and up from the ground. And the spiritual level also goes up into the intellectual, the emotional intellectual. And remember that this is also my hiddush, that the tefillin balances off the spiritual needs in the society of the bris. And that when it becomes potent at 13 years old, that's when you start to put tefillin on. So this is a very deep issue, and the thing that I'm actually talking about today, I'm very happy to talk about, is that your spirituality is in your bris. I'll talk about the spirituality of kosher food, also near that area. You see, the spirituality of the belly button, and the whole spirituality of the anus, and what that relies. But so the Ein Sof is actually at the penis. The Ein Sof is at the penis, and the Sitra Achra is at the anus. So we'll go on from here, as I usually say.